Very good morning to all CA Foundation students who are appearing for September exams. This is Babu Rayipudi, Director Brics Academy. I've been teaching law last 25 years, law and economics for all CA, CMA, CS. So this is a series exclusively started for CA Foundation students who are preparing for September exam. I think September post second week you have an exam, maybe around 15th or 16th. And this series of law revision definitely help you to have some idea, especially if in case you could not get an idea as to how to write the answers. Based on ICA inputs and material, I'm giving you some techniques or some details related to answer writing of answer writing of CA Foundation law. Are you ready? Okay. Now, before this, since the series is started, I'm going to give you shortcut inputs, information, last minute preparation and revision tips and information and concepts revision related to economics and law. So therefore, subscribe this channel, Brics Academy channel, and make sure you also share this information to other friends who are preparing for CA Foundation. First important thing, law is not a theory subject. The moment I say this, you understand, oh, law is a theory subject. No, but this man is saying law is not a theory subject. It is a law, it is a theory subject, but it is a technical subject in the sense everything has a concept, and that concept cannot be concluded, cannot be assumed, cannot be presumed unless and until you go according to the material itself. Second important thing is my sincere advice to all of you, do not study any material in the market. Always study the material which is issued by CA Institute, because CA Institute material is more than sufficient. What happens is if you do not study the material that is issued by ICAI, you will not know the legal vocabulary that is very important to write in the answers. So therefore, you may frame the sentence generally, but you should be using the terms that are very important when it comes to law subject. That is also very important. Sometimes it so happens students keep telling me that I wrote everything very well, but I still could not get the marks. No, the reason is maybe you have written law answers so generic like a theory subject. So you have to use legal terms and write. That is very important thing. The third important thing when you are reading for law, you always remember there are some case law questions. That means almost your 70% of the question paper is case law oriented questions. So therefore, for every case law, when you give a solution, generally, institute expecting sections to be written. If in case you do not remember the section, maybe my doubt, because I've seen answer scripts of the students who have written before, my doubt is you may lose at least 1.5 to 2 marks, or maybe 1 mark. But 1 mark is also very important, right? And fourth very important thing, when you write answers for case law, start your first paragraph with the section, like as per the section of so on. So if in case you do not remember exact section, don't write the wrong section. Instead, you write as per the relevant section of Indian Contract Act 1872. In that way, you may not get full marks, but at least you will not lose marks for writing wrong section. That is the only thing. So generally understand, this is a subject which is basically legal oriented. So obviously examiner always expects sections to be written. Whether you remember or you don't remember, that's a different story. But I'll give you in the other video all the sections in continuity with brief explanation. Don't worry about that. But if you have already started preparing, if you already have made a list of all the sections, very good. You are in a right track of preparing for law subject. The next very important thing is when you write case law questions, 3 paragraphs you have to do. First paragraph, you have to write the concept. Second paragraph, you have to explain what exactly is the dispute or a problem that has happened in the case law. And the last paragraph or last 1 or 2 paragraphs, you have to explain the solution. So do not tempt yourself to give a solution in the beginning itself. The moment you give a solution in the beginning itself, that is not generally acceptable. Though ICAI does not say this is the route, but ICAI has given suggested answers. When institute has given suggested answers, though you don't copy paste as it is the answers given, but you have to follow the pattern, right? If in case really section is not very important, then why institute start giving suggested answers with the help of sections? And why in the second paragraph suggested answers, second paragraph they are explaining about the concept what happened in the case law. That means ICA suggested answers, you don't copy paste as it is, but that is the pattern, that is the method you have to follow. You are studying a CA course which is given by the institute, then you have to follow institute, not somebody's plans or strategies, etc. Right? Because as far as my knowledge is concerned, institute is giving all methods, all support. I'm telling you, this is the only institute in India, I'm telling you, when it comes to professional courses, giving such an amount of support which is more than sufficient. So go through that. Unnecessarily you will end up traveling so many places, you will end up seeing so many books, so much of material. Somebody says this, etc. No, don't worry. ICAI has given suggested answers, which clearly means you have to follow the pattern of it. There's no option at all. All right, now quickly come to this video. Now don't show up patience, because every video of mine I'll hardly record for about 15 to 20 minutes or maximum 30 minutes if in case the concept is a little more deeper, because I want to explain everything. Though I cannot give you all the concepts, but some concepts I will be able to give you so that you will understand the pattern, style, method of answering the question. That is very, very important. All right. And when you're reading the question itself, make sure you try to understand what exactly the concept connected to that paragraph, connected to that case law. That is very, very important. All right. See, I'm reading now the first case law. Um, I'm trying to tell you how to write the answer, and I'm also trying to tell you exactly what is the method to be followed by CA foundation student when it comes to law subject. All right. Shall we start now? Yes. First one, Ravi owns an electronic store. Praveen visited the store to buy water purifier at 54,000. He specifically requested Ravi that he wants copper filter. As Praveen wanted to buy the purifier on credit, means he wanted to purchase on credit with the intention of paying in 9 equal monthly installments, Ravi demands a guarantor. So Praveen visited a store. Praveen is a customer here, and Praveen wanted to buy this on equal installment. So therefore, Ravi wanted some guarantor. So immediately you need to come to a conclusion which chapter it is connected with guarantee contract. Yes, very good. That is one section 126 onwards. You have got guarantee. 124, 125 you have indemnity contract. 126 onwards you have got guarantee contracts. See, simple logic here. Solution is very simple. You don't have to make an effort to remember anything. If you continue revising like this, you will automatically remember. This 30 minutes lecture, this 30 minutes video that you watch will definitely make a lot of difference. All right. Now, Suresh, a friend of Praveen, came forward to give a guarantee. Ravi sold Praveen a water purifier of a specific brand. Praveen made a payment 4 monthly installments. Then after that, he became insolvent. He became a bankrupt, which clearly means he would not be able to pay. Explain with reference to Contract Act 1872 the liability of Suresh as a guarantor to pay the balance amount. According to guarantee contract, what is a guarantee contract? Where one person makes a promise on behalf of the other person saying that if he fails to repay whatever obligation liability he has, the guarantor would agree to pay. So there are three parties basically. The first party, principal debtor. So here basically Praveen is a principal debtor. Is my point clear? Praveen is what? Principal debtor. Then creditor, the one who's selling, that is Ravi, is a principal creditor. Then the Suresh who gave a guarantee is a surety or a guarantor who gave a guarantee to Ravi on behalf of Praveen. Who gave a guarantee to Ravi on behalf of Praveen. Is my point clear? So you have to create some charts like that. You have to create some charts. Okay. You have to create some charts. I mean, immediately you have to create positions. If you do not create positions, what happens? You will get confused. Have some patience. Have some patience. CA means patience only. If you show some patience, then you're going to understand many things, right? All right. Now, so what I'm saying, you have first important thing, you have Ravi. Ravi is the one who's selling. To whom? Praveen. Okay. And Praveen, who's giving guarantee? Suresh. So Suresh is giving guarantee to whom? Ravi. For the sake of whom? Praveen. That is the point. So he's a principal debtor, he's a principal creditor, he's a surety. That is the meaning. So the moment you see the question related to guarantee contract, create positions first. Principal debtor, who originally borrowed money or who originally bought goods on credit. Principal creditor, who originally sold. Why these two people are called principal debtor and principal creditor? Because if in case P fails, Praveen fails to pay, the total burden will fall on whom? Suresh. Understood? Yes or no? That is one thing. So my question is, so since he's asking about guarantee contracts, you have to explain in the first paragraph what exactly is the guarantee contract. Then you also have to explain the nature of liability of surety in the event principal debtor fails. If principal debtor fails, whatever is supposed to be paid by principal debtor, that will automatically fall on whom? Surety. That means the liability of surety is coextensive. The liability of surety is coextensive in the sense whatever is the liability of a principal debtor, in our example Praveen, the total liability will 100% fall on whom? Suresh, because it is coextensive. So in the first paragraph, basically what you're supposed to explain what exactly is the meaning of the Contract Act, a guarantee contract, and what exactly is the liability of surety. Surety liability is secondary, no doubt, because unless and until principal debtor, that is Praveen, fails to pay, surety liability doesn't start. But whatever is the liability of the principal debtor, that is Praveen in our example, shall fall on surety completely. It is coextensive. So the moment you think about a guarantee contract, 126 section should come for writing definition. As per section 126 of guarantee contract, this is the contract. Here's my point. Next, in that lesson only, we have got 128. 128 section clearly says the liability of surety is coextensive, which clearly means whatever is the liability of the principal debtor shall eventually fall on whom? Surety. Understood? Now that is one question. You first develop, so you have to quickly grasp everything and try to develop a recapitulation of what exactly are the sections connected with. That is very, very important, right? The next one you see. What will be your answer if Ravi sold the water purifier misrepresenting as if it is having copper filter? He did not. He sold, the first paragraph may it shows he sold certain brand. He did not sell copper filter, while it actually has normal filter. Neither Praveen nor Suresh was aware of this. That means indirectly Praveen and Suresh. Praveen is the one who's buying. Suresh is the one who's giving guarantee. Both of them are not aware of this. The Praveen refused to pay the price. In response to Praveen's refusal, Ravi filed a suit against Suresh. So Praveen did not pay since there is a guarantor. Obviously, Ravi filed a suit on Suresh who gave a guarantee. So the here next one is there is a misrepresentation at the time of taking surety. If there was a misrepresentation, trust me, misrepresentation means what? You provided wrong information without any intention to cheat a person. In free consent lesson you must have studied. But whatever it is, contract is not valid. No, contract is not valid. Contract becomes invalid, right? That means when you have taken surety into contract without providing information, etc., then 100% it will be invalid contract. So basically in this case law, there are two questions, two problems. First one is about what is guarantee, what is the nature of liability of guarantor. Second important thing is if in case surety is brought into the contract by misrepresentation, what is the validity of the contract. Common sense you apply. If there's a misrepresentation, 100 contract becomes voidable. We studied in free consent, so contract becomes invalid. Then explain with reference to, see here very clearly with reference to Indian Contract Act whether Suresh is liable to pay balance price for water purifier or not. So two questions differently you have to answer. So first of all, when you start reading a question, you have to come to a conclusion what exactly is the concept connected. Once you know the concept that is connected, then you have to identify what sections are associated. If in case you do not remember the sections, don't worry. If you do not remember the sections, don't worry. You just write as per the relevant sections. But trust me, if you do not write the section, Institute has every right to cut the marks. How many marks? It depends on the question, but definitely. So there are three paragraphs, three stages here. First paragraph, you are trying to write about the concept, for which marks will be separate, maybe 2 or 3 marks. If it is suppose 7 marks question, it is maybe 2 or 3 marks will be, 3 or 4 marks will be given. Then second paragraph, you are actually explaining what exactly is the dispute. What exactly is the dispute? Praveen became insolvent. Second dispute is they were brought into contract by misrepresentation. There are two important things. Explain what happened in the case. Then last paragraph, if so two questions are there, no? Question A, question B, both the questions separately you answer, giving a solution. That's it. So that means each para you will carry separate marks. So 7 marks may be divided into 4 plus 3, 2 plus, 3 plus 2 plus 2. Possibility is there. 3 plus 2 plus 2 possibility is there. So because generally concept ke liye, they will give you better marks. I'm not saying you have to copy paste the answer which I'm giving you right now. You don't have to copy paste, but you need to have a specific idea as to what exactly is the pattern, what exactly is the style, what exactly is the approach of the answer. That is very, very important. CA is a difficult course here. You have to make some effort. You have to make an effort which is not required for normal courses. If you try to make an effort which is like normal courses, then how will you certify yourself as a CA? You might say, sorry, it's very difficult to remember. Then don't remember, don't do CA. Who's asking you to do CA? You don't want to put a lot of hard work. You don't want to have that patience of reading everything. You don't want to read that. You don't want to have that patience of reading the textbook given by ICAA. Then why do you want to become CA here? Do not insult this course here. Do not insult this course. You put your effort first, whatever is expected from the institute. Later on, leave it to God. Simple logic in this course. If in case you are not successful, you have to prepare yearly three exams are there. That's it. That is the psychology. That is the attitude you have to remember. But be consistent in your efforts and be truthful in your effort. Understood? See the first way. As per section 126, contract of guarantee is defined as a contract to perform the promise to discharge the liability of a third person. And section 128 says the surety liability is coextensive, which whatever is the liability of the principal debtor shall be the liability of whom? Surety. So finish, we explained the concept, 2 sections I gave, right? Now, in this case, Suresh, so next paragraph, what I said, you must explain very clearly what exactly happened in the case, what exactly is the dispute in the case, what exactly is the legal element. See, in this case, Suresh has given guarantee for Praveen's payment obligation towards Ravi. When Praveen defaulted after making 4 installments, he became insolvent, which means he became bankrupt. He cannot continue making a payment. Suresh's liability as a guarantor will come into existence. The moment principal debtor becomes liable, the moment principal debtor becomes, that means in my example, the moment Praveen becomes liable, automatically Suresh will become liable. Since Praveen failed to pay remaining installments due to insolvency, the Suresh, the guarantor, is liable to pay balance amount. Indirectly, he need not pay the already he paid 4-month installments. No, be very spontaneous. Don't be so structured. Don't be so rigid here. When you are, so only pattern is first paragraph explain the concept, what is there, second paragraph explain the dispute, third paragraph give a solution. When you are writing paragraphs, don't be so rigid, don't be so formal, be spontaneous and explain the points. All right, okay. Now it says Suresh will have to pay, so 9 months he has taken, no balance amount he has to pay. Yes, balance amount, right? Next, 54,000 minus the balance amount. In the second situation, so first question I gave an answer. So in this kind of questions, what you have to do, give a concept, then give it. Otherwise, you can also do section 128. Now we can explain. First, you explain section 126, then explain the first case, then explain section 128, then explain the second case. That also is fine. Otherwise, total concept you explain. That is also fine. In the second situation, Ravi sold water pure, misrepresenting as if it is a copper filter, but it has a normal filter. That means there is a wrong information provided, though he doesn't want to cheat, but it's wrong information which is not valid. So section 142 comes into picture. It has been obtained by means of representation, then without assent, etc. It is a material part of the transaction. It is invalid. So obviously here he wanted to buy something which is related to copper filter. That is an essential element that has to be disclosed, and that only has not been disclosed. The material element, in the sense the very essential part of the contract to enter. That only. So contract becomes invalid. Contract becomes invalid. Those of you who are not Brics Academy students, if you want this answers material, whatever pattern that is there, go to our website. We have a WhatsApp, method of chatting. You just ask, give your number, we will send you this. Don't worry. Okay. Section 143, any guarantee which the creditor has obtained the means of keeping silence, the contract becomes invalid. Contract becomes invalid. So 2 sections. 142 says any misrepresentation makes the contract invalid. Any silence also makes the contract invalid. Here, because it's not deliberate, right? Here, Ravi misrepresented a filter as if so and so, and both of them are not aware. So it's a material information, means very important, essential element. Therefore, guarantee obtained from Suresh will be considered to be invalid. That means Suresh cannot be held liable. When you have taken a guarantor, when you have taken a surety into contract giving a false information, though you never had an intention to cheat. The moment the surety came to know that you provided false information, the contract becomes invalid. Got my point? Yes. So that means, so our question is, Suresh is not liable. Suresh is not liable as a guarantor if he proves that there was a misrepresentation, that he did not tell him the main element, the material element, that is copper filter in this. So understood now? This is how you have to do. So that is why I'm telling you, when you prepare law. So see, now you watched for 20-25 minutes. This is going to help you 100%. Last minute you will be able to remember. Like this, if I revise 40-50 sections, I'm telling you, almost you will be saving yourself from 40 to 50 marks easily. Understood? Show some patience and here, and afterwards go to those sections and read once again. Brics Academy students, anyway, I'm sharing this to you on WhatsApp. Other students, go to our website. We have a WhatsApp method of chatting. You please say that you're so-and-so, request the material which is being taught online. You say, we will share it. Don't worry. All right. What are the sections? Briefly, I gave here, you see, for your info. Section 126 says, a contract of guarantee is a contract to perform or to discharge the liability of a third person. So there are three parties involved. The main person who actually is supposed to pay, principal debtor. The person who actually has given credit is called principal creditor. The person who extended guarantee is called surety. Three parties. So it's a tripartite agreement. All right. Section 128, it says the liability of surety is coextensive. When I say coextensive, whatever is the total liability pending by whom? Principal debtor, the total liability will absolutely fall on the surety. Finished. Section 142 deals with invalidity of agreement by mispresentation. That means if in case you brought surety into contract by giving wrong information, though you never had an intention to cheat, contract becomes invalid. When the contract becomes invalid because you brought surety into contract by providing misrepresentation, then the surety is not liable. Then the surety is not liable. Next, 143 says what? Guarantee obtained by concealment. You have hidden the facts. It states that if guarantee obtained by creditor, keeping silent. That means if the creditor keeping silent, creditor kept some information silent and he did not. Understood? Even the other party who entered into contract also maintained silence. And the guarantee becomes, essentially, if the creditor doesn't disclose the important information, such important information which is very essential for this contract has not been disclosed. When it is not disclosed, that means definitely you actually have brought the creditor, the surety, into contract by wrong information or without giving information. So giving wrong information is a misrepresentation. Not giving information also is a misrepresentation, because you remember in 5th chapter, misrepresentation made, there are certain situations where you have a duty to speak. There are certain situations where you have a duty to speak. All financial transactions you have the duty to speak. Like banking transactions, insurance contracts, immobile property transactions, you have a duty. So your creditor has the duty to speak because it's a financial transaction, and he maintained a silence, he did not speak. That also indicates misrepresentation. So surety was brought into the contract like a bakara without giving information or giving wrong information. The surety that is given by him becomes invalid, hence he is not liable. That's it. Develop this spontaneity, then any subject will become a master, I'm telling you. Don't forget to subscribe this channel, and don't forget to share this with others, and make sure you use this properly. This will help you for a proper revision. God bless you. Have a nice day. Thank you.